Good evening, here we are. Oh, meet the co-host. Hello. Hello, Lilu. The co-host of the evening has arrived. Yes, it's okay. Yes, it's okay. Go. So let's see if we can get some people online here. I have no idea if anybody can hear me, but it looks all green, so you should be able to. There we are. Come a little bit closer. It looks like you can hear me. Okay, sound seems to be okay so far. Can everybody understand me? Just comment if you can hear me or if there's too much background noise for this. Sound seems to be okay so far. Can everybody understand me? So we don't know backlash. So yeah, here we are. Welcome to the Swamp edition of this, number 2. Obviously in the workshop. We've got the co-host sitting down there. She's not going to come on the voyage, but for this evening she's with me. So today's topic will be obviously piracy. As I'm not a teacher, this is the best it could get, and as there was no I had to draw it myself, so here we are. Let's see if we can get a few more people online, and then we'll just start that thing here. Because piracy seems to be a topic everybody wanted to hear about. I got a lot of messages about it, people asking, is it a suicide mission or something like that, so I'll elaborate a little bit about it. All right, here we go. So, today's topic, piracy. We have a journey planned to Southeast Asia, which will sadly bring us to parts of the world where actually piracy is a problem. In these parts of the world, it's not the piracy you see back in the 1700s, noble fish for gold and riches and of any kind. It's pure survival. The pirates of today are poor people who have no other possibilities of earning money than to go and rob other people's belongings. The first station where we're going to encounter this, leads us to where we're going to encounter this, will be at the Gulf of Aden, which is wedged right between Yemen, and on the west side of it is the country Somalia. This is actually where people are being robbed as we speak. Speedboats go out fully armed to capture big tankers and to hold them for ransom. So it's most likely not the case that they are going to rob the boats. They're going to take the boats, take hostages, start negotiating for the release of the boats. This being said, several European nations have deployed actual warships to that area and are actively patrolling the Gulf of Aden to make the shipping route a little bit more safe for people who are just mariners and seafarers who have got no military background. It has come to the point that these people actually forced action upon the owners of the ships, meaning they have armed guards on board. They have counter-piracy strategies. I'm not going to go into this. It means mostly former Marines, former paras, guns and countermeasures to defend the ships from being ransacked. These people operate on small boats, go alongside, enter the boat, and as regular seafarers are not armed, they're easily taken hostage. Once we clear the Gulf of Aden, go around Strait of Hormuz, Iran, Pakistan, and then down India. If we come up on the east side of India, turn back north and northeast, we'll pass Myanmar. Some occasions have happened where there's piracy as well. Same principle. This time they will try to rob your belongings. because there's not a lot of big boats coming past. So that's coastal piracy. I have heard stories of private yachts trying to be held up and stuff like that. This is what we are facing. This is what we're going to face. With that being said, we don't expect it to happen. Reason for that is we are a private, I wouldn't even say expedition. It's just one little idiot, me, on a small boat which holds no value. Nobody's going to pay a ransom for me. They wouldn't even know how to contact, or who to contact. I don't think the German embassy in any way, shape or form would pay for a lunatic like me. So there's very little value in it. What might be happening is they might be stealing my diesel, which I'm going to carry. So that is the worst I can foresee. But usually these are regular people. There's several documentaries out there who claim that the big fishing companies rob all their fish and they can't fish no more. So I think if they are not too drunk and not too coked up, which they might be, as seen in the documentaries, there might be reasoning with them and maybe a little bartering, and they'll let me on my way. So how am I planning to avoid this? First of all, the Yemenite coastline is about 650 to 700 miles. That's way out of the reach of what the boat can do in one turn. If I would think I need about 550 liters of diesel to safely make the passage. That would be 8 big 30-liter drums of diesel stored on deck, which will create a lot of problems for the trim of the boat, because the boat is literally just 6 meters 70, 22 foot. So we're not massively, we don't have massive storage. So the plan so far is we are going to have to dock in Yemen. That means we have to obtain a visa, and at some point we have to go into a port, fishing port, or whatever fuel docking station we can find. With that being said, how are we going to avoid being brought up by pirates or being captured or taken hostage or whatever? First of all, I'll make sure the boat doesn't look brand new. So that means everything over the waterline might not be painted. It will have the name painted on it, Sophie-X, which is just her name. But other than that, it doesn't look too shabby. I'll probably just wash it off and then leave the paint as it is. You don't want to look too flashy. If you look like $1 million, you might garner interest that you don't want. Second thing is, be prepared, listen to what's going on. If there is reports of active ships, evasive maneuvers, counter-piracy teams in action, warships being deployed to help freighters or cargo ships in need, we're not going. We can stay in Saudi Arabia for a few more days, and as we are an unarmed vessel and have no means of outrunning them, we will have to wait. Simple as. These small boats have a stand time at sea, so to say, where they can operate. That's mostly water, diesel and food. So they, at some point, if they can't catch anything, they have to go back to refuel or get new water. This would be our break. As we can't outrun them, because the boat at flank speed will probably make 10 knots, if so. Cruising speed is 5 knots. So the rips these boys are running will be faster than us and will be more than capable to run us down. Next thing is the AIS. I don't know if they actively track AIS systems, but I don't think the Yemenite government will go against me or the Coast Guard if I switch my AIS off and go dark or go black. Meaning I'm not going to transpond my transmission, or I'm not going to transmit my position to the AIS system so other ships can see me and I can see other ships. I have to find out if I can just receive, because I'm going to have a receiving and transmitting unit. So if I can switch off transmitting and just receive, that would be okay, so I can outmaneuver bigger ships if I don't have a line of sight. The plan so far is, at daytime, push it out to sea 10, 12 miles. A little boat out at sea is easily overlooked. It's easily done. We don't have a big silhouette against the horizon like these massive tankers have. So, at day, stay out. At night, when nobody can see you, come in a little closer. The journey for 600 miles will probably, if I go 3-5 knots an hour, so in 10 hours I'll do 50 miles. So I will be around 10 days at a good cruising speed where the engine will be reliable and where fuel consumption will be within the parameters I checked to go ashore in Yemen to fill up. Because I'll advertise, you have to let yard brokers know that you're coming. That will add another layer of security to us, because people know we are coming and we will be in contact with them. So that's the day and night thing. At night, further out at sea, in the daytime, you can run by eyesight, so you have to keep a good watch, see what's coming up. Give plenty of room so nobody gets too interested in yourself, if that makes sense. Don't make yourself look a target, and don't make yourself look too flashy. In the port, I don't expect any problems because it's very simple. I bring money to a country that nearly has no tourism or any form of trade with foreign nations because it's such a country in despair. That means US dollars or whatever they will take down there. I don't think their credit cards will be good, but a few $100s for a few liters of diesel will definitely help the harbor master and the guy who sells me the fuel. That being said, once we pass this, we will be going towards Oman. Oman is safe, it has an e-visa system, there's no problem at all. I will have to come up with a plan to sleep for a few minutes. So with boats it's a little bit different because the speed isn't as high as you would expect it. You can actually, if you got a clear horizon that makes nearly 38 miles without something, at 5 miles speed, you can go to sleep for an hour. It's still risky, but it is manageable. If I can get a collision warner on the AIS system, that's absolutely fine. It will sound a warning alarm if I head towards a big tanker who's transmitting. The smaller boats, fishing gear, you might run over. I hope it doesn't happen, but that is a risk I have to take because I can't stand watch for 10 days straight. I have to sleep at some point. I'll probably be good for 2.5. The maximum I've done is about 52 hours without no sleep, but then I fell asleep for like 8 hours. So that cannot happen because you can't sleep for 8 hours while you should be transiting. And you don't want to be adrift with no fixed position, no engine in a country where you don't know who steps on your boat if you're not careful. This will be the most exhausting step of the journey, but it's not a suicide trip. It is not a suicide trip. It is just that there's a risk of piracy. That's about it. The next thing is, what happens if they make contact? One of the main things if they make contact is heroes usually die first. These people have nothing to lose. There are no witnesses. If they decide that you are a problem, that will be it. That's the end of the journey there. And they have a new boat. So I don't want that to happen. This, I have actually no idea how this is going to be, but my home is my home. And I'll make sure we will be all right. So this being said, heroes usually leave this planet first, and being a hero is not my intention, so we will see once this happens. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on, how I can avoid it, how I could prevent it. Prevention, I just said how to avoid it, but I do not know what the interaction will be. That is, I have to think about it when that happens, when they actually stop me or when they actually it's not called pull me over. It's like when they board me or they try to board me. I can't outrun them, that's a fact. So there are several possibilities. If I keep my AIS receiving and I see a boat that is, or I perceive as a threat to myself, it's not making itself known, it's approaching high speed, I might call for help. As I said, you have several NATO nations, American warships, Germans. I know a few frigates have been down there, Dutch frigates, the Danish boys have sent something. So there's a few navies operating down there. And this would be a mayday call. This is a threat to life at sea. And if I can, I will send one out, rather to make sure nothing happens to me, or in case anything happens, so they can be held accountable. That is basically everything there is you can do when you get boarded by armed men that are probably not your friends, to say it that way. This is everything there is to say about piracy, or modern piracy. It always looks nice on TV, but when you're facing it, it might be a different ball game. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure when we enter waters, unfriendly waters, we know where we're going, we know what's happening, we'll do our best to avoid it, and in case contact happens, then that's just what it is. We have to deal with it once we get there. It makes no difference if I come up with a plan right now. As we've learned in the military, a plan is always as good till there's first contact. So then you have to come up with something. I'm very positive that all my interactions with people will be positive and good-natured, because I'm not a threat to their fish, I'm not a threat to their country, I don't bring weapons, and I'm just passing by. So I don't see a reason why someone should try to rob 20 liters of diesel. So that's it. From here, from the swamp. If there's any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll post this up later, and you can all have a look at it if you missed it. For the people who had a look at it, thank you very much, and I will see you next Tuesday.